Howdy, friends and floor heads. Time to play Cthulhu Dark, one of my favorite systems out there. As always, I will teach as we go, but let's go ahead and start playing. It's the height of summer in 1851, and London smells of spoiled river water, poverty, and things discarded. The heat presses down like a fever. Sunlight bakes the city bricks and cobblestones, stirring up the reek of mud, sewage, and the rot of the Thames. The river is a foul vein, pumping its stench through every alley, every market, and every breath you take. Filth cakes the streets. Your shoes squelch through it. Your skirts and trousers carry it home. It clings to your skin, to your soul, as if the river has infected the city itself. London is sick, and you live in its belly. You are one unlucky day from living on the streets, but for the past year, you have found a home in the East End. Life here is crowded, noisy, but a community. The people are rough but familiar. No one asks questions they don't want answers to. You rent a space in a crumbling lodge house called the East End Lodging House in the Old Nickel Rookery neighborhood, which is a twisted warren of alleyways and makeshift housing where strangers live shoulder to shoulder and secrets rot behind walls. Miss Hask runs the lodging house and bears the challenge of being a matron to all of you. But even here, the rent must be paid. This is a working day, and the city waits for you. I want to start with Tate. So, Tate, where would we find you during the day before supper?
Well, I have my corner that I've been standing on for, a couple years now on Fleet Street. I know the people that are walking by. I can time when people are getting off of work, heading towards lunch, and I know when it'll be busy, and I can beg for coin.
Now, I would imagine that would have to be a little bit farther west, right? Because the way that London is structured in the 1850s is you've got the East End of London, which is extremely poor, which is where you live. And then as you go west, the class increases, right? So the middle working class is more like central London. And then when we get to West London, that's where the aristocracy, that's where the royalty, that's where the rich live. So is this more like it towards the working class area of London, do you think?
So it's a street that's maybe at the edge of the working class headed towards that west side where there's shops, there's restaurants, somewhere where maybe those richer folk will feel comfortable enough to come down that street where I can maybe get their coin, but I'm mostly seeing around working class people.
So let's cut there. You're towards the end of the day, you know that Miss Hask is going to have something to eat around 5 or 6. And you won't miss that because it might be the only chance you get to eat today. And it's nicer here than in the East End, but it's still not West London. The people here have jobs. They live here. They have shops. They have coin in their pocket. Things that you just don't really see where you live. As people are walking through the streets and past you, Tate, people of West London don't even recognize that you exist. But here in central London, in the working class area, they just pity you and look down at you. What are you saying to them as they pass?
So Tate figured out that they don't really hear you when you talk. Quite easy to have that selective listening. So she learned a few songs. So she sings to try and entice a couple coins getting thrown at her feet.
You hear yelling. And you turn to look down the street and you see a little boy who's maybe 6, maybe 7, running. And behind him is a bobby chasing him. I see what you did. I see what you did. He's got a stick rattling up ahead, and he's chasing after this little boy. And this little boy has got something in his hand, and he is running right for you. Not to you, but towards you. And you can just, and by his clothing, he lives far more east than here. So he's probably lives much closer to you than he is used to being here. I'm going to get you. I saw what you did. And he's chasing after the boy.
Tate is going to try and time it as the boy passes. She'll bend down to pick up some coins and see if she can kind of get in the way of the Bobby and trip him up so the kid can get away.
So the kid runs just past you, Tate, and he smells of the river. In fact, he almost looks damp. You can almost hear the wetness of his bare feet as they slap against the cobblestones as they come by you. And we're going to do our first roll as Tate tries to trip a cop. So in this system, there are two basic roles. There is an investigate roll, which is where you're trying to get information and investigate and get a clue. And then there's what is called other actions, which is anything else falls under other actions. And it's a D6. And the higher the number, the more successful you are. But anybody can also call for a failure die if they think that you being unsuccessful at this might be good. So let's go ahead and build your pool. So if you can click the other actions on your character sheet, it's going to ask us some questions. First is you get a D6 by default, just being a person. The next is whether we add a second D6 for your occupation. So you've got your occupation listed as a street beggar. Do you think this is helping you?
I don't think that it would be out of a normal realm for her to be grabbing the coins that are off the street. She can play that off as, they threw the coins at me. I was picking them up. I didn't see you.
Meddling with the body.
We're not friends.
Isn't. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and add an occupation die. And then the important question. Do we add the insight die? And the question I'm going to ask you is, are you willing to risk your mind or body to be successful?
No, she wants this kid to get away, but at the end of the day, he's got to learn to be a little quicker anyways. So maybe this is the lesson he needs to learn.
Does anybody want to roll a failure die for Tate? Then I'm
yes.
Yes. Eleanor. Okay.
I think it would be very interesting.
Oh, it's going to be that. It's going to be that kind of game. All right.
So what's neat in Cthulhu Dark is for any other actions rolls, the GM, the keeper, myself, or director in this system, the director or another player can call for a failure die. So let's start there, Eleanor. Can you roll the failure die for me?
I sure can. Hopefully. Maybe.
Should be right on your character sheet for you.
Yeah, it just won't select.
The other thing that you can do if you want is just roll a d6 off the...
a d6.
Yeah.
That I can do.
Oh, look at you. Rolled a 1. Isn't that nice of you? All right. So it looks like we have 2 dice. Let's give it a roll, Tate. And you cannot fail because you're definitely going to match or beat a 1. So you get a 4. You succeed completely. So you lean down to get the coins. What happens?
Leans down, grabs a couple, stays for just a second too long in her periphery as she sees the Bobby come up, and he rams right into her, tripping over her.
He knocks you over. He comes tumbling over top of you and lands on the ground. What the hell?
What are you doing? I'm just picking up my coins here. What? I can't even pick my coins. I earned these. I'm sitting here on the street, and you're just taking my money.
Now you're begging. You're begging. It's not allowed. Get out of here. You belong out east. Get out of here. Go.
She's gonna pick up her things, grab her skirt, and huff off. Time for dinner anyway.
So you head back to the East Lodging House. Owen, as we are slowly approaching supper time when you'll want to go back, before you do, where do we find you?
We find Owen probably closer to some of the outskirts of town right now, in the process of making sure that the supply of rats for the Queen of the East that evening, they have the appropriate country rats coming in. We don't want any of these wharf rats. We don't want any of these city rats. Pure country bred rats. That's what we have. Best, finest country bred rats that money could buy. I'll pay good money for them. And that's what we're paying for, is with good country bred rats. That way, these men with their fancies, they come in, they do their sport, and we're not having any problems with them. They keep bringing them back. They keep them good and healthy. It's a healthy, legal sport, and that's what we're doing.
So where are we?
I imagine, probably sort of almost north of where East London is. So probably where maybe Crouch End actually might end up being down in the future. Yep. But where the countryside just intrudes a little bit on the city. And Owen is meeting with someone to procure probably at least 20 or 30 rats more. We probably have some already, but we got to replenish the stock. I mean, that's just how it works.
So let's have you kind of on the edge of the city there, where because the northern part of London kind of blends into countryside. Mm-hmm. There's a cart, maybe a farmer, and in the back of the cart, he's got some crate cages, and looks like his daughter's with him. She's back there, kind of holding the crates as as he's traveling, they don't fall off the cart. Mm-hmm. And he hops off the front of the cart and he goes, "These are fine rats. You're gonna like every single one of them."
I know, we've done a good job before with them.
So how many are you taking?
Oh, how many you got? I need at least 20 if you can.
Susan, count them up. You see her counting. She goes, "Daddy, we've got 25.
I'll take them.
No, it's not enough to get the full discount."
Come on now. You had 2 years that were diseased last time. Go on then with you. I'll take 25, but it's a volume discount I'm giving you here.
So he hems and haws with you, and his daughter's picking up the crate, and she hops down off of the cart, and she's pulling off the crate, and it slips out of her hands. And it falls onto the street, and the crate breaks open, and these rats, there's like 15 of them in this crate, just start spreading out. And we see her just looking at her father in utter fear of what she's done. And you can just see him, he's angry. And he goes over and he grabs her by the scuff of her little dress. And I think he's going to hit her.
Well, old Owen there, he had a couple younger sisters, and sometimes Owen would just have to take the beating. I mean, he never much cared for how his own father would strike out at all of the kids, but I mean, not the youngest two. He never cared for that, and so I think this sort of immediately puts him into that, and so Owen's going to step in, kind of get his shoulder in there as much as he can, and try and stop it. So, oh, come on. We've done this all before. We've made mistakes. She's a young one. They'll learn.
He pulls, as you kind of invade his space, right? As he's holding his daughter and he's got his hand up, and you get to him before he hits her. But as you invade his space, he steps back and he goes, "You mind your own business. This is my family."
This is my business that you're interfering with right now. And that's buying these rats from you. You've done a good job, but I'll take my business elsewhere, and I'll let Jem Shaw know that he should take his business elsewhere too.
Ooh, I like this. Definitely, we're going to get a roll out of this one as well, Owen. So it sounds like instead of physically interfering with him, we are threatening him, yes. And that if he were to hit his child here in front of you, you would walk away.
Mm-hmm. And I'd spread the word amongst other much more successful rat pit owners.
That inner rat pit network of yours.
I'm just saying that the Queen of the East is probably not the greatest place.
Okay. So definitely get your D6 for being a person. No question your background fits here. So let's add that occupation die.
All right. So that's one roll for or just 2 rolls on another action?
Yep. Just click on other action, and then it'll ask you which dice to use.
There we go. All right, I'm not going to
don't roll anything yet,
so,
though.
Yeah.
Do you wish to risk your mind or body to convince him not to hit this child?
Not
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Somehow I'm
And-
feeling like that'll come in handy.
I am going to go ahead and roll the failure die for this one.
That's fair.
So let's start off. All right. Just don't roll a 1. Ooh, a 5 and a 2. Oh, you are 5 is literally the best you can do here. 6 is when things are just superhuman. This is the most.
Mhm.
So what do you think his reaction is as you talk him down?
I think he knows. I mean, there's probably this brief moment of, okay, yes, we've all screwed up, and maybe we all took a beating that we didn't need to for making a mistake. And the farmer knows it's business, and what he doesn't want to lose is extra business. I mean, you got to go out and bring rats and crates to London. Come on now.
I think with that 5, Owen, it is not only as he does not hit her here, but I think that you have talked him down, so it's not like he's just going to wait till you leave. So I think that you have saved this child from getting the back of her father's hand. So very, very well done. As we gather up the rats, you've got one under each arm, a crate under each arm, and you start heading back towards the lodging house.
Mhm.
Where do we find Eleanor?
Well, along the Thames, as usual. I think at this point, wrapping up, let's see, so before 5, you said, so tide is getting to be pretty high. It's about time to leave the shores, so scraping the mud off of everything below the waist and below the elbow as making my way up from the shore.
So do you think, are you envisioning yourself kind of in the dock areas, or are you off the docks more where the barrier wall is separating the city from the Thames?
So definitely the barrier wall. The docks are a little bit too busy. It's easy to get hit by something. Also have to keep an eye on the others who might want some of my treasures. So I've got my ways of getting over the wall.
Yeah, I think maybe you have like kind of a makeshift ladder that you have for this area, and when the tide is low, you can usually find something worth picking up here at the edge. And as you're scraping this mud off of yourself, you hear splashing. And you look out into the river, maybe would be waist deep for you, so a little bit into the river, and you can see 2 kids playing. And suddenly one of them goes under.
Oi, can you get your friend out of there?
Oh, he can't swim, Mom. He can't swim, and I can't see him in the water. Not only does it reek and smell, but there's just a brown grayish color to it that if you put your hand into you can't see it. It's just so opaque. I can't find him. I can't find him.
Oh, bloody hell. So I'm going to jump down instead of doing my normal careful picking. Landing pretty solidly. Fortunately, the ground is soft, so it's mud. And tromp in.
I don't think I need a roll here. I think you very quickly get out there, find where the child is. Little boy, 5 at the oldest, and you reach in there, you lift him up out of the water, and the river water just comes off of him, and just spouting it out of his mouth, and as his lungs are emptying, being filled with it. Do you have any food?
Of course, I don't have any food, as I'm scraping just mud off of him and like shaking him a little bit just to. What have we learned about playing in the Thames? And just
Sorry, Mom. Sorry. And when you finally let them go, they get them a little closer to shore. They scramble. They take use of your ladder to get back into the city itself.
Would not be the first time I've had kids using my ladder, but for the most part, they don't mess with it. So
the three of you are headed back to the lodging house, and as you enter into your neighborhood, the old Nickel Rookery, this place is so distinct. I think the three of you of times have had to sleep in alleys and on the street, but this last couple years, you've gained enough coin to be able to pay Miss Hask for a room in the lodging house. And let's be honest, there's been weeks where you've missed. And though she tells you never to let anyone else know that she's doing it, she lets you get away with a free week here and there. And unlike when you go west, the streets here are just a knotted gut. They wind and cross, and sometimes you can't even tell where the sidewalk is versus where the routes for the carriages are. No sanitation whatsoever. No street cleaning happening here. Very rare that we see a constable. The City of London doesn't care what happens to you, so there's no reason to police this part. And eventually the three of you get home, and the East London lodging house is a very modest 2-story house that seems to almost lean against its neighbor to stand up. There's an iron sign above the door, and as the three of you meet and come inside, it's got that cheap kind of knotted rug right at the door, and immediately is the main area where there's a large wooden farm table, benches, and you can hear the clanging of the pots in the kitchen in the back, and you can smell that awful cheap tobacco that Miss Hask smokes. She does have a fire going for you, as always. There's some fish hanging that she's drying on it. And you hear her from the back of the kitchen, even though you can't see her. Food will be out in a moment. Get dry and sit.
that is my top priority, is to get dry, get all the mud off. Fortunately, I own 2 pairs of shoes.
Look at you.
One for mudlarking and one for the rest of my life. So I am putting them on.
So as the three of you sit down, the clanging stops in the back. You can still smell the tobacco smoke. And it's replaced with her cane as she starts walking out of the kitchen. Miss Hask is a larger woman. You know her to be kind, but anybody who knows her outside of this house would be shocked to know that. She, at one point, may have been a beautiful woman, but that's long past. She slams down these copper plates, and there's half a piece of bread and some drippings in the bowl. Come on, eat up, eat up, eat up.
With gusto.
Tate, she notices on your forearm the bruise that you got during the tripping of the constable. And you feel the tip of her cane as she points to it. She goes, "What happened here?"
Oh, you know, it's bumbling around on the streets. Someone ran into me. I'm fine.
And so this was not the doing of someone? Are you safe out there, Tate?
I can take care of myself.
She's got that raspy, cheap tobacco cough. Because I would hate to have to rent your room if you weren't to make it back. Which is her weird way of saying she cares. She comes around. She comes to you, Owen, and as she sets your plate down, she notices some mold on your bread, and she picks it back up, and she goes, and she just tears the mold little moldy part back and puts it down in front of you. And she goes, "It'll make you healthier anyway." Oh, you smell like the pit, Owen.
Well, it's a job.
She works her way
Not fit to be in Parliament, so.
She squeezes your shoulder a little bit with that comment, and then works her way back into the kitchen. So as the three of you are eating, this is like an hour a day where there's a roof over your head, there's food going into your mouth, the fire is warm.
Very much more gently than I've said anything else. Let's see your injured wing, little songbird.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
Little river mud. Clear that right up.
I don't know if I would trust what's in that mud, but all right. No, the kid was running too slow to not get caught by a bobby, and I stepped in the way.
Bloomin' kids. I had to save one from the drink today. Oh. Apologize to the British community.
Any and all of these actions, yeah, I'd like to apologize to the entire United Kingdom.
I just go from one bad version of an accent to another. So
only one I can do reliably is Minnesotan.
It's going to change the tone of the game, but I mean, the lakes fits.
Oh yeah, well, for sure.
Old leans in and says, "Oh, geez, there."
So, Tate, I think among the three of you have lived here at least 2 years, but I want to have you been here the longest, maybe, if that's all right. And so this definitely is home for you, and it feels like home, and to the point where I think you know what this house sounds like. You can tell when someone is walking in one of the hallways up above. You can tell when Owen opens up the door to his half room late at night coming back from the pits, because his door has a very distinct sound. And as Owen and Eleanor are finishing up, Eleanor is giving you a little bit of fuss over your bruise. You hear a door open and close upstairs that you haven't heard open or close in a very long time. It's the attic door. And the attic has been empty ever since Lily left. So Lily was a woman that lived here, young woman, like 19, that lived here in the East End house for about 6 months. And she did not have money at all. And just out of sheer kindness, Miss Hask put a mattress up in the attic and let her stay there for those 6 months. And she was a prostitute. And about a year ago, she just vanished. And what she had told Miss Hask, and Miss Hask had shared with the three of you, is that she had met somebody and she had gotten married. She's no longer living in the east side of London. She's living out west. And she wished the three of you the best and told Miss Hask to tell each of you that she loves you. So, Tate, when you hear that attic door open and close, I think that gets your attention.
Has someone else moved into the attic?
No, not that I've heard.
I think I'm not hungry anymore. Here, you can finish the rest of this, and Tate is gonna go rush up the stairs and see what's going on.
So, Tate, as you stand up, leaving a good bit of dripping still in your plate, you hear the cane coming out of the kitchen. She goes, "It's not going to be here when you get back. You've got to finish this." And she taps the cane on the edge of the plate, and the metal on metal. Ting, 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 ting.
Let the young and the beautiful have it. Did anyone move into the attic?
No, and I keep meaning to clean it. I keep meaning to get that mattress down from there. Someone else could use it.
Well, somebody might already be doing that. And Tate's going to run up the stairs because now she's thinking who's in Lily's room because she still thinks of it as Lily's room and who's taking Lily's mattress.
Owen and Eleanor, as Tate scampers off, what are the two of you doing?
Well, I'm very concerned about protecting her food for her, so just kind of pull it closer, maybe aggressively hold a fork towards no one.
So Tate, you rush up the stairs. Every time you go up the stairs to the second floor of this house, you just wonder at what point is one of my feet going to go through one of these steps. It always seems like the stairs here are on the brink of letting go. You get up to the second floor, run down the hallway, past your half room, past Owen's, past Eleanor's, and you see the attic door closed.
I think I need to go in there. Tate hasn't been in there since Sus said that Lily had left. But
And as best as you know, Tate, nobody has.
I don't like if somebody's been poking around in there.
So you open the attic door, and as rotted and old as the steps from the first floor to the second floor of the East lodging house is, these are barely half steps, but they're a full flight up to the attic, and it's just open up above. As you open the door, you can hear something up there, and it sounds like crying.
Hello? Anyone up there?
Whoever it is trying to stifle, but just can't stay quiet enough and doesn't respond.
Slowly coming up the stairs, skipping stair number 3 and number 6 because we found that those were the weakest. Many a time of going up to Lily's room when she was there.
So slowly you become floor level, right? As you're going up the stairs, you slowly rise into the attic. And everything is as you remember it. There's a kind of a makeshift small table on the left side of the attic where the roof line comes across. Probably an old crate. And that's usually where Lily would have kept her things. You can see the nail in one of the exposed not rafter, exposed wall. Wow. I'll be here if you need me. Great descriptions, Craig. Where she would hang her clothes. And on the right-hand side, as you rise up there, you see the mattress. And Miss Hask was always good. She would always make sure that she and you and Eleanor and Owen and the other people here always had fresh linens, which was a luxury that you can't imagine doing without. But the mattress is naked now. It's just the rotted old mattress. And you can see where rodents had started to get into one of the edges and have burrowed inside. And sitting on the mattress, Tate, is Lily. She is wearing a nightshirt, a nice one. She's barefoot. Her knees are pulled up to her chest, and she's leaning with her back up against the exposed wall. Her hair is longer than you remember it, but it's definitely hers, and it's not knotted and just kept up like she would have it when she was living here. You can tell it's been brushed and washed recently. And her head is buried in her knees as she's trying to hold back the crying. I think that surprises you, but what shocks you is all of the dried blood. On the bottom of her shirt, on her feet.
Little dove. It's Tate. Hey, it's Tate. It's Tate.
And she kind of lifts her head up, and her face is fuller than when you saw her a year ago. She's been eating, you can tell. Her skin is smooth. She looks like she's 20 years old, not like she's 30, which is often what you thought when you used to see her. And she looks at you, and you can tell that she's trying to process as she sees your face. And then, Tate, they took him. They took him.
Who took who now?
They took my boy.
Okay. And she's just gonna wrap her up in a hug and kind of cradle her to her chest.
And she is shaking, just trembling. And Eleanor and Owen, I think, with the attic door open, and Lily was almost yelling. So even though I don't think you could tell what she was saying, I think both of you immediately recognize that was Lily's voice.
Oh, then yeah, immediately rushing upstairs,
Dropping my threatening fork and 100% skipping
probably
stairs.
rushing upstairs after taking a little bit of the last bit of dripping and bread and throwing it in the mouth.
So Tate, as you're holding Lily and she's trembling and just trying to catch her breath, you notice that she is barefoot. There's dried blood on the tops of her feet, but there's the dirt and the grime of the East End on the bottoms of her feet. Owen and Eleanor, as you rise up the stairs and enter the attic, you see Tate holding her as she's crying.
Is that you, Lily girl?
She looks up and, oh, Owen, Eleanor, I didn't know where to go. I just didn't know where to go.
We got you.
That's all right, Lily.
Someone took her boy.
And that suddenly triggers her. Tate, you saying that to Owen and Eleanor, she goes, where is he? And she's frantically like she's lost herself. She's looking around like she expects the boy to be next to her. Where did he go? Where's my son? Oh my God, they took him. Oh my God. She buries her head back into her knees.
Gonna kneel next to her. Your boy?
My son. He took him. I couldn't stop them.
Who and where do they live?
Where was this? Were you at home, Lily girl?
She's trying to build up, I don't know if it's enough energy or courage to tell you both, to tell the three of you. My husband, Jack, the midwife, he was born, and the midwife cut the cord and just walked out of the house, walked out of the room with it. He told me to go, and he left. I just didn't know where to go, so I came back here.
I think pure rage on Eleanor's face, but also tempered by just like, some of the, trying to get blood and mud off of her, but maybe a little more forcefully than Lily's wanted.
And Eleanor it's so nice to see her, especially despite the blood, overall looks well and taken care of. But she she is out of sorts. You can tell, and she's dipping back in and out of sobbing and being lost, recognizing you and apologizing. I'm sorry, I didn't know where to go. And then she falls back into looking for a child that isn't in this room.
Dove, I need you to try and breathe. Just breathe. You came to the right place. You're safe here with us.
But Tate, they took my child.
I know, Dove, I know. We'll try to see what we could do.
You can hear the cane as it hits the bottom of the attic steps. You always can tell when Miss Hask is going up steps because she seems to be fighting her body the entire time. And it's not one step to the step to the step. It's one step, second foot, next step, second foot. And she finally kink the wood against the cane against the wood steps. She comes up and she goes, "Oh God. Is that Lily?"
It is, Miss Hask.
Owen, go downstairs in the kitchen. There's I've got some water warming. Get some towels. Oh my God! There's so much blood. Go.
Yes, Miss Hask. Yes. Owen tears off back downstairs. Probably missing the third step as he often does.
And she forces you to wait till she finishes getting up the steps. There's not room for you to get past her, and she's by no means ever going to make way for you. So finally, she, as much as a rush as she sounded, she finally gets herself up to the top. Let me see her. And she's trying to kind of separate you, Tate, from her.
Yeah, I'm not getting away from her side.
I'll stand and kind of sidearm hug Miss Hask away from the two of them. I will not let anybody get between them.
Eleanor, I need to look. I need to look to see if she's still bleeding.
Making sure Owen is out of the room, I'll let her go.
So we'll take.
Yeah, she lifts the night skirt and puts it back down, and she says, "She's not bleeding anymore, but I think she's just given birth."
That's what she's told us. She says the baby was taken away from her by the midwife.
She gets down on one knee, which is a project in and of itself. And she's looking eye to eye, and she lifts Lily's chin, and she says, "Who took your baby?" And she seems to always struggle to say this. "Jack, my husband, and the midwife." Oh, and you're coming up with the rags and the warm water.
Which I will intercept at the door.
I should take care of the claret.
So maybe there's a bit of a montage of Miss Hask, Eleanor, and Tate cleaning her up. Owen, maybe you're at the bottom of the attic steps, knowing it wouldn't be proper for you to be upstairs right now. Mm-hmm. All of that attention and that caring, especially for Miss Hask, I think is calming her. At one point, I think, Eleanor, you're asked to go get fresh clothes out of Miss Hask's room and to bring him up, and we changed Lily. And so now she's sitting, cleaned up. The blood is all gone. Oh, and you're called back up.
I have to imagine Owen's looking fairly stern in his countenance right now because Lily was, again, a younger sister. And what Owen remembered was that supposedly this Jack fellow was supposed to have been a gentleman.
That is definitely the story that Miss Hask told, right? That she said that one of her regulars decided to marry her and that she was living out west.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Hask has kind of moved over. There's an old rocking chair up there, and she's lowered herself into the rocking chair. And she hasn't stopped crying, Lily, but she seems back in sorts a bit.
Dove, I think you need to rest. You've been through a huge ordeal physically and mentally. I know it doesn't sound like you might be able to sleep, but I need you to try.
I've got to find my baby. I've got to find my son.
I know, but you can't do that when you're exhausted.
And she even tries to get up, Tate, and immediately stops herself. She just does not have the energy. And I think Miss Hask mentions that this birth could not have happened more than 2 hours ago.
You've just brought life into this world. Your body needs to rest. You will be of clearer mind and spirit after you've gotten some sleep, and we can figure out what to do together.
There isn't time.
A what, Lily girl? A time.
There isn't time.
Isn't time.
They've taken him, and
all right.
And I don't know where they went.
Lily girl. Where were you living? Where was the crib?
It was living. Jack had a house in Pimlico. That's where I was living. He works a lot, and but he was always taking care of me. And that's I was in my room. I was in my room in the house. And then I don't even remember walking here.
Well, you get some rest, and we shall not waste any time. And I'm gonna strong arm Owen out the door, down the stairs. And I am not a large person, but I'm wiry.
Tate, when Owen and Eleanor leave, she looks at you and she says, "Please get my baby. 24 Gloucester. That's the house." And just for a little bit of background, so Pimlico is on the western side of central London. Definitely, I think, Tate, farther west than even you would feel comfortable begging. Likely that either a resident or authorities would chase somebody from the east out of there. So in theory, you know where Pimlico is. Gloucester, you would assume, is a street name.
Dove, what's your son's name?
I didn't have time to name him.
Okay. Well, when we get him back, then we'll name him.
Promise me.
I promise.
Miss Hask kind of whispers to you, Tate, as you get up. I'll take care of her. Go get the baby.
Thank you. Tate'll head down the stairs to Owen and Eleanor. I have a house number and a street. I don't know how we're gonna get a fucking baby back, but
By any means necessary.
all right then. Off to Pimlico we go.
Oh, we'll make a site in Pimlico, that's for sure.
Yeah, looking down. Just kind of.
I think some thought needs to be put behind us, because before you even reach that part of London, you would be standing out as sore thumbs. The like of you does not travel that far west.
Tate knows of a shop that sells coats that's near where her little corner that she'll sit and sing. They could possibly break in and at least grab something to cover themselves that looks a little more in tune with the type of people that'd be in that area.
Maybe at least look like you work there as maybe a servant or something.
Yeah. Not finery by any means, but at least clean.
Right.
A clean cloak or coat of some sort.
What do we think of Tate's idea? She presents it to the two of you. Oh, can't hear you, Eleanor.
Well, I haven't got a better idea.
Owen's been trying to figure out if he ever saw or was introduced to Jack, or if we ever picked up a last name from Miss Hask or anything like that. So all we have is...
And that's the first time you've heard his name.
Yeah. That's just all right, so that's it. So all we have is a name and an address and an area of London that we're not really going to be easily snuck into. Yeah, trying to grab some sort of coats or something like that. No, I mean, Owen's limited thinking is like, well, I mean, people like that sometimes come to the pits. It's a gentleman's night out. It's the kind of thing where those kind of places are one of those few places in London where social classes will mix. And he's thinking, like, we could try the pit later, and I could start asking around, but I mean it's not gonna go quickly enough. We need to find out. And Owen's and at the same time, it's like, do I know anybody in a baby trade? Not that I know of, and certainly not out west. That's not the kind of thing that you hear in places like Pimlico. So I guess Owen's very slowly in his head, trying to churn all this together, and says, "You want to try it? You want to try it? Come on, Songbird. You know where we got to go."
All right.
If not, we can circle back. We can try the pits later. Like, we can ask around and see if anybody knows this person. We have an address. I can make some discreet inquiries.
So I think, Owen, for you and Eleanor, as you follow Tate towards her corner, it's unfamiliar. As awful as the old workery neighborhood is, they're all friendly faces. They're all people that you've known, Many of them you've shared a blanket with in an alley, trying to stay warm. But as you start moving west, people stop seeing you. The three of you slowly become invisible. You might get a look. You transition from the people that live here looking down on the three of you, and as you get closer to Tate's corner, it's the people that work for the people that live here that look down on you. And you're at the back of the shop that Tate mentioned.
Well, I think maybe a bit of brute strength here might do the trick.
Everybody looks at Owen.
I guess I'm the brute squad.
Tiny little person, 100% willing to try to break down a door.
Well, I mean, it's not, the locks probably aren't that tricky, but yeah, Owen will try and put a shoulder into it.
Let's do that, Owen. Let's give it another action roll. Definitely your human die by default. Does your work help you here?
You know, I'm going to make the argument that it does, because you're dealing with rat terriers. You're dealing with dogs in cages who want to do what they are genetically trained to do, and that is to just go after the rats in this pit. The pits are usually in a rougher area of town, and it's a mix of things. You got to haul crates back and forth to make sure that the bar has got what they need to. Owen's probably got a little bit of strength to go with it. I mean, but people don't really start too many fights in the pits, but sometimes you just got to wade in there and just really separate things. You got to yank a dog off of a rat. Sometimes it gets a little feisty.
Yeah, I'm good with this. So let's add your occupation die. Do you want to risk your mind and body to succeed here, Owen?
You know, he still feels early.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So, I don't think I'm going to call for a failure die, but Tate and Eleanor, you're welcome to. I just feel like there's time, right? So if Owen doesn't get it on his first try, I think Owen's going to be able to get through this door. I think it's a question of how much time and effort it takes. So no failure die here, Owen, but let's see what your highest die of the two are.
Alrighty.
Very nice. You succeed brilliantly, and you get something extra, but maybe more than you found for. So you rolled a 6, which means you need to roll an insight roll.
And this is where it begins.
It is.
Yep, that's going
rolled
up.
above, so your insight should now be 2.
That's what it says.
Owen, as you're breaking down the door, and the door opens up, the one thing that was good about traveling west is that the rot of the river left and dissipated as you traveled west. You couldn't smell it as much. It wasn't in your hair. It wasn't a hand around your throat. But when you get into this shop, to you, all of the dresses and the coats in here seem slightly damp. And everything in this shop smells like the wharf. Eleanor and Tate, as you come into the shop behind Owen, you do not experience this.
Well, hopefully nobody has to smell us as we get through this.
I mean, we don't smell that bad, but okay.
Eel, is this the kind of place where you sell jackets you find down by the water?
I've never been in here before.
What about it's Eel?
I've never been anywhere this nice.
Yeah,
just touching all
nobody-
the fabric.
100%, Eleanor. Like this is to a degree like unbelievable. The three of you are in here unsupervised. And just everything feels good as you touch it. It's soft. It's clean. It's new.
There are no patches or holes on anything. I'm gonna pick up the warmest looking coat that looks like it's short enough for me and put it on.
It fits, Eleanor. God, it fits. And there's no patches anywhere. The seams are all sewn.
Gonna look around for hats as well. Like just the hat moment.
You have an array of choices.
That one looks good on you.
I'm a fancy lady. I can eat with silver forks and have fine china and lace stuff. I am probably the least exposed to fine culture of the three of us. I've never probably been this far west, not in the middle of the river. So this is great.
And Owen, with that roll, with that 6, you guys have all the time in the world in here. You were able to get through this door, not make a noise in the process. So one of the things I was concerned about is getting attention from a constable, and you just know, Owen, that if the three of you wanted to stay here until the shop opened, you could.
Yeah. Owen's, yeah, even knowing that, Owen still feels nervous. Just feeling like, all right, we've taken the extra step here, but we still need to keep going and moving on this. Owen's probably looking for coats that he's seen gentlemen wear, who have come to the pit. So he's trying to dress himself, because the gentlemen don't normally bring servants with them, and so he can't necessarily say like, oh, this is what this guy's manservant wore because he was with him. The gentlemen were there by themselves, so he's looking for some sort of frock coat, like Prince Albert type coat, something. There would be a Prince Albert coat later on. So nice big long collar. He's really searching for what the gentleman would wear. Plus, if they had any accessory type items as opposed to the usual cap that Owen often wears, or his old, somewhat disreputable looking hat.
Yeah, I think you can find a taller hat, brand new, that perfectly fits your head.
I will also, just because I'll need it, and I'm going to need to keep my old hat, I'll find a hat box.
Excellent.
Shopping montage.
Yeah. We see all of you trying on more things than you need to, but I think just the act of that. Tate, at one moment you're in a coat and dress and you look at yourself in the mirror and you realize that you don't look right, because though your clothes might speak to you being here, your face and your hair do not. You still have the grime of the rookery on your face. Your hair is knotted and unbrushed.
All right, enough dress up. We have a baby to go get.
Songbird, you look a proper dandysette.
She's gonna blush a little and kind of pull the coat she picked tighter.
Three of you slip out the back of the shop. Oh, and you're able to close the door, but it doesn't latch. You did a little bit of damage in the process. And we head back out to the cobblestones, and we continue west. Very quickly, even for you, Tate, You're starting to walk in neighborhoods that you've only heard about. The buildings are all straight. The water of the river isn't running between the cobblestones. They're dry and clean. As you go by a pub, the big window in front of it shows people sitting and eating like taking their time, not like it's about to be taken away from them. And the fire inside it casts an orange light everywhere, and they just look warm. Constable walks by, looks at the three of you, but it's dark. So I think you pass, just based off of how you're dressed. And you get to Pimlico. And you find Gloucester. 12, 14, 16. And the houses start to change. There starts to be fences around little yards. As the houses are not on the street, they're set back from the street. You can see that suddenly the houses seem to have a carriage entrance. That maybe there's even small stables behind them. And eventually you get to 24 Gloucester. It's on your right-hand side. It's 4 stories. It's set back like almost 30 yards from the sidewalk with a fancy wrought iron fence that surrounds it. There's a carriage entrance on the right that leads to the back. All the windows are shuttered. The door is a half step up. There's a lawn in the front with trimmed shrubs. Across the street is a pub, the Duck and Feather. And you can hear laughter. But otherwise, things look empty. There's no one really walking up and down the streets. And I think the three of you have a moment where you are exactly where Lily told you she gave birth. And what is truly amazing, because you have now traveled her path, is the thought of the hour it took her to walk barefoot minutes after giving birth to get back to the house.
I imagine even with all of that, Owen is probably just still sort of stunned by being where he is. I mean, a lawn. That's such the notion of it. The fact that you could have a fence, the fact that you're not living hugger mugger next to everybody else around you and sharing space on the street with a thin sheet, or spending a night in a penny hang. This is a proper house, and something that people like Owen don't ever get to see. Even though he comes close to those people, this is beyond his dreams.
And above, on either side of the front door, there are gas lamps, not candles.
Speaking of which, do I hear any dogs at the
house? You do not. Your lying ears.
No, I was trying. Owen was thinking, like, if it's the kind of person they have a carriage house, is this the kind of person who would keep dogs and maybe take them to pits and try to go and still? Is this somebody who? Is this a sporting lad, or is this somebody else?
Yeah, let's do an investigate roll, I think.
As you
kind of kind of check out the situation here. Definitely your human die, of course. I think you're way out of your element, though, Owen.
Well, I fully agree. I think this is
Yeah.
human capabilities only.
Yep. Do you wish to risk your mind or your body for this investigation?
Yeah, why not?
Ooh.
Add your insight die.
All right.
And there's no failure roll on investigate.
All right, cool.
Always succeed. It's just
Let's-
how much information do you get?
Let's see what we get.
So we got a 4,
Yeah,
which
but
is
that's on the insight die though, which
I was headed that direction. So you're going to get a good bit of information.
Mhm.
But I do need an insight roll. Your insight is currently 2, so if you roll a 3 or higher, your insight will go
Down!
and it does. You are now at insight 3.
Mm.
So let's talk about the information that Owen gets. A good bit for a 4 is a good roll. The house is unsettlingly quiet. So as you're kind of checking the house out, you quickly figure out that there's obviously a carriage house out back that's likely outside of the fence. So you would imagine if you're facing the house, the carriage would run like basically a driveway along the right-hand side leading to a carriage house behind it. But if the gas lamps weren't on, you would question whether anybody lived here, because all of the windows, as uniform and perfect as they are on each of these 4 stories, are all shuttered close. It's different than the other homes, so it still has the same white walls and decorative edges, but it's taller, which is odd. Most of the other homes here on the right side of Gloucester Street are 2-story homes, equally as nice. This one stands out being 4 stories. You also notice something interesting about the duck and feather as you're taking things in, because as you're standing there and watching, you notice that it seems like people from the West are walking in, but also people that would work for people here. So there's an odd mix of people that seem to be coming in and out of the duck and feather, somehow mixing together. You wonder in the bar. The people in the finer clothing, Owen, they look different. And I don't mean just because of what they're wearing. You notice they're taller as a group, even the women. And their faces seem longer than the others that are coming in to the duck and feather. And you hear whispers. You don't belong here. They can see you. They know. And it's just your own voice talking to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but it definitely shows. I mean, Owen, even with this, even checking us out, looking, feeling, like the times when occasionally you had to rob somebody and break into a house every now and again, do some watching. Owen's nervousness is becoming very apparent to Tate and Eleanor. That something's bugging Owen. Owen is hugging the walls and the shadows more than even just simple skullduggery would seem to want to indicate. He's really making an effort to not be seen, like he's trying to vanish back into them somehow.
So do we knock or just open the door?
Element of surprise? I'm not sure what we're going to find inside if they took the baby away.
Hopefully someone's nose to break.
You don't go through the
I'm
front door
100
place like this. You don't go through the front door. Places like this have servants. Places like this is a household, a proper household. The fact that I don't see other lights out there, that makes you nervous. There would be butlers, maids, somebody to take care of that ridiculous piece of grass over there. The carriage house. Where is everyone?
One way to find out.
Tate's going to kind of step back to Owen for a second and just kind of trying not to make a big deal of it, but just kind of put her arm on his like forearm and just kind of just hold it there for a second. Acknowledgement that like she's there.
There's a little bit of minor relief that you can sense, just sort of a physical sense, not his energy is still really tweaking a little bit. There's a little bit of physical, just that little bit of calmness. This is the touch.
Well,
If there was a midwife, she'd be around here, wouldn't she? They wouldn't have brought her in.
Lily said that the midwife took the baby and left. And that this Jack fellow kicked her out right after. Midwife might not be here anymore.
All right, well, one of us could go into the pub over here and see if we could start find out here who this Jack fellow is.
Your mic's doing funny things, Owen.
Yeah, sorry, I'm also kind of whispering a little bit. So
Gotcha.
Get a little too theatrical for the mic. Sorry.
Yeah, just too good.
Yeah. So yeah, Owen was basically suggesting that we could go into the pub and try and get some information about maybe they know a local midwife. We could get a name. Maybe we could get the actual name of this Jack person in case we have to go somewhere else. Owen's leery of getting into the house right now, but it's not going to probably be able to stop Eleanor or Tate from doing that.
Let's do something. I am not a subtle person. Fine. I'm going to turn on my heel and tromp over to the pub. Not waiting for others.
Decisions made, I suppose.
So you get to the front door of the pub. It's open. And Owen, the observation you made about the odd mix of people coming into the same establishment immediately makes sense because you can see people are sorting themselves. Some are going into a room to the left, some to a room on the right. And a quick glance at both of these rooms makes it clear that they are not drinking together. They are not carousing with each other. They are sorting themselves almost east to west, west to the right, east to the left. But it's warm in here. It smells good.
It seems that our sword are to the east.
Probably get more out of them anyways. No one would want to talk to us. I know we're in finer clothes, but you can't hide this.
Once again, just going to try to...
So you come into the saloon area to the left on this pub. And everyone is dressed similar to you. Everything is tailored, nice, but there's a sense of worksman here. People are being more casual. They have fewer sticks up, fewer asses, as they're enjoying themselves here at the pub. Awkward question. Does anybody have money?
Tate always keeps her coin purse on her person, so she has her money with her.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
crowded.
imagine Owen does a little bit as well.
Okay.
Not much, but
That's keeping it in that house. I don't trust anybody not to go into my room and take it.
Of course not.
And
I would do the same.
This is one room, and this isn't like a bar like we have in the States, right? This is a tight, close-knit pub. There's maybe 2 tables. There's maybe 15 people total in here, but it feels like you're almost shoulder to shoulder. A hardy woman is behind the bar and pulling beer and ale as ordered.
Tate's gonna kind of slip a couple coins out of her bag and then hand them to Owen. I don't think that we should be ordering. You should be ordering. We're gonna go sit down. Trying to kind of remember like etiquette that she's seen as she's on the street of like, how is this supposed to work?
yeah.
Oh,
no
yes, your fancy escort for the evening.
Hush, Eel.
Oh, and you take the coin?
I take the coin, and I will probably hand over the hat box in exchange. And, I'll proceed to the bar.
And it's a short bar. It's only like a 5 foot long. As the gentleman in front of you picks up two ales and walks past, the woman looks up to you, doesn't say anything, just waits.
3 pulls, miss, if you don't mind.
And she's looking at you, and she goes, "Your first time here?"
Yes, it is. Seems to be quite a jolly place.
Yes. Where do you work? Where do you work?
Owen's mind is immediately trying to think. Just been brought into service down down Gloucester Road, number 6.
Oh, are you servants?
Well, I am. The master of the house has asked me to procure some very big, broad rough for him this evening, as the mistress is out.
So immediately she, like, everything makes sense now, right? So, you just, this look on her face, she was looking at you like, what the hell are you? What are you doing here? Who are they? Suddenly this story, she's like, oh, okay. And she goes and pulls the ale and delivers it. So let's have the 3 of you here in this, for lack of a better word, saloon, farther west than the 3 of you have ever been, mixing with people who can tell you're a rung or 2 down the ladder from them, but it seems like here it's okay. No one is staring too long, and no one seems on the brink of asking you if you belong here or not. Let's take a quick 10-minute break. How we doing? So Owen puts the ales down on the table. I think, even though it's still Owen, Eleanor and Tate, this might be the first time you've ever been served. Owen, as you take a seat, what's going through the three of yours mind?
I think for me, it's the novelty of being in this high society, and for my mindset, and Byron, like, oh yes, thank you, my lord, and just full on exaggeration, combined with this just kind of frantic, we're running out of time, and very suspicious of everyone in the room. So like tickled pink that this is happening and where this is happening, but also we need to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy, Eleanor, because as you're sitting there hearing the conversations that are happening in this small little room, it feels like they're mocking themselves, but they're not. It's just the way that they talk and the way they talk to each other.
Tate feels extremely out of place, is kind of like watching Eel with that, like, don't bring too much attention to ourselves. Come on now. But also it's funny because she agrees. But it's just in the back of her mind, it's just that you don't belong here. None of you belong here. This is not, like, we only have a limited amount of time where we're going to be able to pretend like we should be among these people. How the hell are we going to use it to our advantage to get this baby back?
Mm-hmm. I think this is so far outside my realm of comfort that I don't even realize how obvious, like how obviously out of place we are.
Yeah.
So, making comments toward neighbors at tables is definitely just something, that's what you do at a pub.
And Owen, who might normally feel slightly more comfortable, is still really much stiffer and not moving as quickly as or as fluidly as he always seems to in some circumstances. I mean, he's really, he's clamming up in a way that doesn't normally happen.
And Owen, you can see Tate and Eleanor sipping on the ale that you brought them, and you can just tell by the look on their faces just how good it tastes. But yours has a bitterness to it, like it's made with river water, and it has a bit of a smell.
Yeah, Owen kind of puts it down. Just can't escape from it, can you? Eel, how do you deal with the smells? When you're out mudlarking, when you're finding your little tidbits and goodies, how do you deal with the smell? Do you just ignore it?
Doesn't exist anymore.
Tate, you notice a gentleman having a conversation with our bartender, and she points at your table, and he turns around. He's got a fresh pulled ale in his hand, and he starts walking towards the three of you, and he's had a few. He's at the point where he's being very deliberate in the way that he walks. When we're sober, we just walk, but if we have too much to drink, we start thinking about how do I walk, and that's the phase he's in as he's staggering towards the three of you.
Look alive. We have company.
Hello, good sir.
He kind of looks at you, Eleanor, and then he seems surprised that you are talking to him, and he immediately addresses Owen. She's told me that you have them already set forth.
Well, yes. There's an evening's activities and entertainment for a rather dandy gentleman down the way. Were you looking for something else, though? The people that I know who helped arrange this might still be able to find something.
They work across the street.
They don't. But do you know the people who work across the street?
My lady worked the kitchen once for a bit.
Oh,
I just didn't know if they worked there.
no, they're not to the neighborhood here, but
Do they have
good.
sisters?
Well, big families, I imagine so. Good, clean girls.
He has to grab the back of one of the chairs because he's really having a hard time standing. Okay. Oh, and he's got that half eye going.
Yeah, nice family. So your lady worked over across the way. That's strange. That big house. How many people was she having to feed when she was doing that?
It varies. She said that sometimes they has like 8 women there, and sometimes less.
All women?
Well, that's who lived in the rooms, and then the men who rented the rooms would he's losing his train of thought now. He's having a hard time keeping a straight line.
Owen's going to put one hand on him. Steady, old boy, steady. Come on.
No, it's okay. I'm glad.
That's
it's
good.
Okay.
The fellow you were talking about, the gentleman, is that Jack by any chance?
I don't know their names. They just they keep women, and then they come over, and I gotta go sit down. And
yeah.
He's
You know
starting
what?
to wander off.
Yeah, we'll let him wander.
What did he mean that the pause? Oh, and did you tell that bartender that we were entertainment?
Similar words may have slipped out.
I've been called worse.
And no one actually reaches into his purse and pulls out the money, the equivalent amount of money that Tate had given him, and slides it back to her and goes, "We'll keep it even."
Fair. She'll take it.
We don't.
So,
we don't fit in here, Tate. There had to be some sort of story. Had to gin up something to keep suspicion off of us.
it was sharp of you, I suppose. We'll talk about it later. So they were running a halfway house, or maybe a brothel?
Yeah, fancy house for women, multiple women run by one. I mean, it sounds like a procureur running a shop over there.
But why would Lily not just say that she was moving to a nicer
Instead
brothel?
instead of married. That doesn't fit. Maybe we should go over there. I don't know. I know Eel's anxious, and I don't know. I'd like to. I don't even know anymore. What? Should we just go try going around the back through the carriage house and see if we can make our way in, find out what's going on over there? We can always come back and ask around, see if we can find a midwife.
True.
There's a huge crash. As someone lets the dogs out. There's a huge crash, and our friend has fallen and knocked over one of the tables, people are standing up, going, "Oh God, Marshall, get oh!" And this apparently has happened before, just by the reactions. One guy is trying to lift him up. Marshall is passed out at this point, but there's a bit of a commotion.
Probably a good opportunity to slip out without much notice.
I agree. Come on,
So you get
Songbird.
back on the streets. 24 Gloucester has not changed. It's almost frozen, it feels. It's getting later now. It's like 10:30, I think.
Yeah.
There's more people leaving the Duck and Feather than are coming in.
Mm-hmm. We should go quickly. Eel, do you know how to get through a door quicker and perhaps quieter than I can?
There are a few ways. Depends on if you want to knock first.
I don't think knocking will be necessary in this situation.
Then let's go.
If you wish to rouse the household, we knock. They may be roused no matter what, but
Well, especially after hearing that it's a place of nightly visitation.
So it sounds like we were going to go around back, or are we going out through the front door?
I think
unless you want a
carriage house
distraction.
entrance
Yeah.
might be the most approachable, at least for us.
Fair.
So you slip around back. There's no windows on the side of this house. It's more of like almost like a row house, right? Windows in the front, and just this white painted brick. As you walk along the drive towards the back, the fence separating you from this place. The fence is easily 7-8 feet tall, intricate iron, cold to the touch, slightly wet for you, Owen. You get to the back, and as expected, there is a carriage house that's easily the same footprint as the east lodging where you live. You see a cart, carriage. There appears to be 2 horses, and they are in their stalls. This carriage is fine, really nice. Easily could sit 4 to 6 people. There's a high seat in the front where the driver would be if the horses were hooked up. And you smell, for a second, Miss Hask's tobacco. But then you realize when you look at the back, there's a small porch. There seems to be a woman about Miss Hask's age, but she's in a cook's uniform, and she seems to be reading something and smoking maybe the same brand of tobacco that Miss Hask has in her pipe, but she's oblivious to the 3 of you sneaking around. And there is a back servant's entrance, which is she's sitting next to.
Well, there's one, there's more.
We could be friendly, or we could be unfriendly.
Well, I mean, our new friend Marshall back there says that his lady used to work in that kitchen. Maybe that lady knew her. Deal, are you feeling friendly or unfriendly?
Unfriendly. I'm gonna look around for a tool, an implement.
Yeah, I think if you go back to the carriage house, I'm sure you're going to find there's tools back there.
I think a hammer sounds really nice.
All right, let's have you find maybe a shoeing hammer.
Mm-hmm. You can try to be nice first.
I'd really
Spin
rather not
spin that tail.
hurt someone right away unless we have to.
One vote for, one against.
Songbird, do you think you could get her to talk and find out something?
I could try.
Spin the tale of old Marshall over at the Duck and Feather. Maybe she knows who we need to go. Maybe asking her if she knows Marshall's lady and where we can go find her. Maybe get her to walk you back this way. And Eel sneaks in as she's walking away.
Okay. I can do that. I can definitely do that. She's convincing herself.
Of course you can, Songbird. And he gives a little squeeze on your forearm.
What are we doing,
And
Tate?
Just gonna walk up to the cook.
So this woman, probably in her late 50s, she's got like that puffy chef hat of the times, and she's got an apron that's ridiculously clean. And you see her put out the cigarette, and she pulls a pouch out, and she's beginning to roll a second one. She hasn't noticed you yet.
Cheers, mind if I ask you a quick question?
She's startled. The pouch drops out of her hands into her lap.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not hiring.
No, I'm not looking for employment. I'm looking for a friend, actually. She used to work in the kitchens here. Hangs
What's
with
her
a
name?
lad named Marshall.
The drunk.
Yes.
Let's do an investigate roll. Let's see how much information we can get out of our little chef here.
Okay.
Definitely your human die. Does street beggar help us here, Tate?
I don't think so, only because I had already established that Tate sings and doesn't really talk to people.
Yeah.
So her charisma isn't really in conversation.
I think I agree. Do you wish to risk your mind or body for this investigation?
Could potentially be important information. You know what? Sure.
All right, let's add your insight die. We're rolling 2 dice.
Yes.
Okay, you get whatever a competent investigator would discover. So the good news is that you got a 4. The bad news is it's your insight die. But that's thankfully you did that, because otherwise you would have gotten a 1, which gives you just minimal information. So we're going to get a good bit out of her. I do want to roll the insight. So your insight's current is still 1, right, Tate?
Yes.
So if you can just roll a 1 again. Okay,
Nope.
your insight's going to go up by 1. Yeah, she hasn't worked here in a very long time.
Oh,
You can probably find him across the street.
yes, I'm aware he's a regular fixture over there. I was looking for her. She had some information about... Well, you see, my husband and I have been having trouble conceiving, and she said she might know someone who could help with finding a child.
She looks confused. She said, I don't think I understand. I mean, if you're not looking to work here, why are you looking for a doctor?
Is there a doctor in this residence?
My dear, no. You know what we are, right?
No, I'm new to this part of town.
Oh, dear. Some men from out west own a room, and they keep a lady here. Currently, I think we have 7 or 8 of the rooms filled. And there's no work upstairs. Those women are brought here by the men who own the rooms. But of course we're staff. Are you concerned your husband has a room here?
Yes.
Oh dear. What's your husband's name?
Jack.
Ooh. Her face changes. Sweetheart, he's lying to you. You're not married.
What do you mean?
Dear, he wouldn't marry you. So if Jack has told you this, he's telling you lies. And yes, he does have a room here, and he keeps a woman, which is, I'm sure, the same arrangement he has with you now. Though he does have a terrible habit of saying that he's married you. I don't know how to tell you this, but he wouldn't marry you. He's just using you.
For what purpose? To what end?
As she's talking, Tate, you can't help but notice that you can hear her heart beating. And as she's telling you more and more information, kind of coloring in the corners of this picture that the three of you are trying to understand, you find your heart syncing with hers. Your heartbeat changes. For your body, dear. Are you with child? You said you've trouble.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, then the arrangement may not last long.
That's what he's
He
looking for?
will expect you to be with child soon.
So he just collects bastard children?
Oh, poor girl. Yes. The men here, they bring in women. They give them seed. And they have child. I don't think I realized that he has a second room somewhere else. Where are you living now?
Oh, I'm just so distraught with this news that I have just come across. Thank you for your help. He has someone here now. I'm finding all this so hard to wrap my mind around.
You did get a 4.
Fair.
Which is good. No, that's a good thing. She stands up and she comes to you, and you see her kind of comforting you, even though you're a stranger. She's definitely looking down on you. But there's a kindness to her face. She says, his room here now is empty. The woman that was here gave birth, and she left. I can get you up there.
You could. I'd be eternally grateful.
Let me step into the house. Just see where everybody is. If you'll just wait out here for me, I'll come get you.
Thank you, of course.
And whatever you find there, if you use it against Jack, do not involve me.
No, this conversation never happened. I don't know you.
I would love it if they got fucked. She walks away. She goes inside.
I'm gonna go relay that to my friends here.
So, are you going to go in alone?
I don't know if we'll be able to sneak someone else in with me. Maybe catch the door behind us and try and sneak in, but...
Take this
So-
hammer.
You're doing Lily proud, Songbird.
I can't help but feel guilty. I encouraged her to do this.
We wanted the best for her. None of us wanted her to be hurt. It sounds as though this Jack fellow was leading her down a merry path.
And it's a shame his kneecaps are in one piece.
We could find out a name of this Jack. And maybe if you can find out, it's obvious that they've done this before, get the name of the midwife, we can find her. Maybe she can tell us where the child is.
Okay.
I don't think I should go in there. It sounds as though there's very specific men, and they probably know them. If anybody else was going to sneak in, if you wanted to try it, but I don't think my presence should be. It would make things worse if I walked in.
Fair.
You hear the back door opening.
Gonna scramble back over to where the cook left me.
So she motions for you to come up to the door as she's keeping it half open, leaning out of it.
I'll head over.
She says, most of the house is asleep. I'm going to run back to my home for a bit. You're going to go straight through the kitchen, take the stairs. Her room is on the 3rd floor, second from the left. If anybody asks who you are, just tell them that you're my sister. Tell them you're Susan's sister.
Susan's sister. Thank you, Susan.
But don't be long.
No, I'll be mindful. Thank you for your help.
And Owen and Eleanor, you see as she keeps the door open so Tate can take it, she heads down the stairs and starts walking towards the main street along the carriage lane.
That seems fortuitous,
Tate's waiting on the other side of the door until she doesn't see her anymore so she can open it back up from the inside.
I shall nonchalantly walk through.
Owen, you're following?
I will follow. Yeah.
This
I'll take
kitchen
the
is
hammer back.
unbelievable. Take your hammer back, okay. I'll be needing that. This kitchen is gorgeous. Everything is cast iron. The sink is like a bathtub. As you work your way through the kitchen, you open up the servants' entrance to the main floor of the house. And suddenly you realize this may not be a house, right? Because this front area where you can now see the front door from the inside almost looks like a lobby. There's a grand staircase and sitting couches, but it feels like a waiting area. less than a place where people would live. Obviously have gas running through the entire house. The lamps are going, but it's quiet.
Are there any other rooms or anything like that out of the front lobby, or is it just the lobby and the staircase?
No, there's a couple doors on the left and to the right.
There may be an office or
That's-
something with paperwork.
That's what I was thinking. I can go try and see if I can find that, if you want to go upstairs.
Yeah, I'm going to head to the room that Lily would have been staying in.
Eleanor, what are you doing?
I have a strong desire to go up.
Okay. So the two of you, being quiet, though you apparently have an out if someone confronts you, work your way up the first set of stairs, immediately turn 180 and go up the second set of stairs to get to the third floor, as Susan told you. Owen, you quietly start opening doors. I think the first one you find is a indoor bathroom. But the second one looks to be a study or an office.
Okay.
There's books on the shelves. There's a desk.
So I'll make for the desk to start with, and see if I can find any papers, slowly opening drawers, feeling around.
So I'm going to have you do an investigate roll here in just a second. Tate and Eleanor, you get up. The door is unlocked. You slip in. And it is a beautiful bedroom with a canopy bed. But there's no sheets on the bed. The sheets have been pulled off. You see drops of dried blood leading from the bed to the door. You see a vanity with a jewelry box on it and a changing screen. At least that's what you think it is.
I imagine the jewelry box and any shiny trinkets are nigh irresistible for me. So
Okay. What are you doing, Tate?
Tate's actually going to look under the mattress and see if there was anything Lily may have stowed under there.
I think I'm going to have two investigate rolls happening here. Let's go back to the office with Owen.
Mhm.
All right, Owen, let's do an investigate roll. There's no potential for failure here. You get your human die. Can you read?
I don't think Owen can read. He may be. I mean, how literate would he need to be to run a rat baiting parlor?
Yeah,
I mean, he probably has a very basic command of things, but nothing. No real languages or anything like that. So I
and often we think of illiterates as being unable to read anything, and that's just not the case, right?
Yeah, no, it's what it is very, very minimal understanding.
Right.
I mean, and recognition certainly of symbols and importance of things.
Yep.
A recognition of marks. People have paid in, they've had to pay that when they didn't have cash, they paid in other kinds of silver, and you're going to know what looks good, and you have to be able to spot the marks, the maker's marks, and things like that. So, I mean, the importance of, if something is marked in a particular fashion, that's probably going to catch his eye more than anything.
I'm good with that. So let's I don't think we're going to have our occupation die here. We'll definitely have your human die though.
Yeah.
And of course, are you willing to risk your mind or your body for this investigation?
I'm not going to risk it, but if I remember, isn't there a chance to re-roll if I do fail anyway?
Is. Well, you're not going to fail, right? But you can.
Can
You
always
have
push.
unlimited re-rolls. So far, your rolls for everybody have been good enough.
Yeah,
But
I'm just-
let's say that you roll just the one die and roll a one.
Mhm.
You can re-roll, but you have to add your insight die.
That's
to any
true.
rolls.
All right, so I will try the one, and if I need
Great.
to, I will give it a reroll. So let's see what we get here. Just human capabilities. Ooh! Oh, nice!
Literally the best thing you can roll.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Holy cow!
Oh.
Yeah. You start going through these papers, and I think you find, Jesus, a 5. Okay, I'm just going to give you everything. You find a box that obviously contains ownership papers for these 10 rooms. You find Jack's name. Oddly, only first names are being used on these sheets.
Mhm.
And you see the room that he has bought. The amount of money that he has paid for this room is obscene, Owen. Like, you're not really sure it's real. It's more money than you would ever imagine.
Mm.
But at the bottom is an address. Apparently he lives in something that's called the Richard House in Grosvenor Square.
Mm.
Richard House means nothing to you, but Grosvenor Square does.
Mhm.
That's where the Richie Riches are. That's where people that are part of the royal family might live. Grosvenor Square is shocking.
Yes.
Tate, as you and Eleanor are both poking around, who wants to make my investigate roll? Because I feel like, Eleanor, you're sifting through the goodies that are on this dressing table. Tate is kind of looking around.
I haven't rolled yet, so
That's a problem. Let's fix that. So, Eleanor, let's do an investigate roll. Definitely your person die. I don't think rooting around in the mud of the Thames helps you in this situation unless you can make a case for it.
I mean, there is a knowledge base that has to go with the things you find to know if it's worth anything.
That, I believe. I like that. Let's add your occupation die. Do you wish to risk your mind or body?
For my first roll, let's not.
Okay.
For some reason, my little clickies aren't working.
Let me make sure that I have got you properly as an owner here. Hold on one second. I do not. That is the problem.
Oh.
Now try.
Oh.
Shiny. So you're going to add your person die. You're going to
There we
also
go.
add
There
your
we go.
occupation
And
die.
I'm not risking my mind.
Okay. Good
Nice.
Lord. Another 5. Okay. So Owen, with your 5, has found out an address for Jack. Eleanor, I think you find a letter.
I'm going to say if Owen is maybe not the strongest reader, I'm definitely not.
Okay.
So I would probably immediately hand it to Tate.
Let's do that. Let's hand that to Tate. Tate, you find a letter that should now be popped up on your screen,
Okay.
written by Lily's handwriting. Do you mind reading it to everybody?
Sure. My dear Jack, since you left, the time has passed so slowly that I feel I'm dreaming. Time is strange here. A day can pass in a moment, or feel like a year. Is it wrong, my dear, that I am scared about the birth of our child? It has grown so large and so quickly, yet I must quiet my fears and remember what I promised. On your last visit, you left your cravat. Sometimes I touch the silk to remind me of you. I wonder how you are as you look over Grosvenor Square. I wonder what you do. I wonder if you ever think of me. There is nothing for me to do here, so I cannot claim that I must finish this letter. Yet my writing is at an end, and I will sign my name and resume my wait. I am forever your own, Lily.
A few things, Tate. The envelope that it's in that Eleanor found is addressed just the word Jack on the front. The fact that it's here means there's a chance that Jack never read this, or this never got into his hands, right? You would anticipate if she was sending it to Jack, it wouldn't be in this room. Eleanor, with that 6, you find in a box that's behind the changing screen a porcelain mask. It's heavy. It's plain white. Basically featureless. It doesn't depict anything. It has no mouth. It has a place that will allow a nose to be if it was worn. And it has 2 holes, perfect circles, that if someone was wearing this mask, they could see. But it's odd because of how heavy it is. There's no strap or anything to put it on. You could imagine maybe touching it to your face, but it's unclear how it would stay there. For your 6, Owen, not only do you find this registry for these rooms, you also find a calendar diary. And as you're flipping through it, you see Lily's name on a day and a plus next to her name. It's for 4 months ago. And as you flip forward to today, you see Lily's name again on today, and it says due date under it. I need an insight roll, Owen, because it is obvious that this was a 4-month-long pregnancy.
Son of a bitch.
So you now have insight of 4. As you realize what this means, you suddenly are imagining this child that you're looking for now to be a monstrosity. In fact, I think with this insight increasing to 4, you are no longer going to consider this a baby.
Mm-hmm.
What came out of her had to be unnatural. Had to be monstrous. And that's what brings you to insight 4.
Yeah.
Tate and Eleanor, as you've cleaned the room,
I think I'm gonna set the mask on the bed strong desire to smash it with my hammer.
I might wake up the rest of the house.
This is not a standing up sort of mask.
No. There's something very off about all of this. I just hate to imagine Lily sitting here alone for weeks on end, waiting for him to come back. This person who said he was going to love her and take care of her and promise himself to her.
Also, left his fancy cravat and sitting in a fancy square. She knew he had a life outside of here.
Suddenly, her struggling to call him husband makes a little bit more sense.
Eel, I think we need to get back downstairs and get out of here. The baby's clearly not here, but this Grosvenor Square, that could be where he is.
Yes, let's go.
Owen, what are you doing?
I imagine Owen is... He's probably sweating profusely. I mean, this is past his ken. And at the same time, Owen is realizing this is Grosvenor Square. These people are so far above where Owen is. Even in his dreams of occasionally interacting with similar people, like who might have come to this house, the people there would never. There's no way. And Owen's feeling like this is almost hopeless. How do you get to people that high up? We aren't the people to do that. They won't listen. And so he's sweating. He's trying to hold it together. It's not doing great. And his mind is going, is there something here that we can use to blackmail? Is there something we can use? That's all that these people may respond to. They won't respond to violence. They won't respond to threat. But if you attack their power, is there something that we could possibly use with that? And just other than taking the box of the ownership papers and this calendar, which doesn't give us much. But at the same time, Owen really wants to go to a church. And Owen does not go to church.
Yeah, I think that the people that run and own this place are smarter than being explicit on what it's used for. So I think maybe if you're looking for any level of proof, I think you have it.
Yeah,
with at least with the ownership
I'm going to take
papers.
those with them.
And the calendar.
Yeah.
And you see other women's names, and you're seeing this 4-month gestation period between the plus symbol and then the due dates for the different rooms in here. And this calendar goes back years.
Owen's at the same time, there's this part of his head that's like those tall folk with the duck and feather. There's that little, he hasn't quite poked it, but there's the look of, are they breeding themselves into something that we will never know, and they'll always keep us under their foot?
Eleanor, you open up the door slowly, I would assume. We're not going to throw the door open and stop down the hallway. And Tate, you're right behind her. Eleanor, as you open the door and kind of do the Scooby-Doo, look both directions down the hallway, the door at the end of the hall, further down from where the stairs are, opens. And a woman first steps out of the room, cradling something, and you immediately know what it is because it's crying. But you can't see it. And behind her, a man walks out. He's approaching 7 feet tall. He's dressed in fine clothes and wearing the mask. And when he looks at you, you immediately are underwater. You suddenly feel your feet leave the floor. You can tell like you've slipped somewhere and while you're working and you have fallen into the river. You're submerged. Instinctively, you know not to open your mouth. So even though everything looks the same, you're now floating and underwater as this thing stares at you. And Tate, as you see Eleanor's feet leave the floor, you suddenly feel the same. I need quick insight rolls from both Tate and Eleanor, please. All right, so Eleanor, Tate, you stay at 2. Eleanor, you go from a 2 to a 3.
1 to a 2.
Or, I'm sorry, 1 to a 2? Yeah, it was 1. Now you're at a 2. Okay, gotcha. As you feel yourself floating up, as you know that you are underwater, you feel a pressure in your ears and in your head, as if whatever you're floating in is trying to get in. It wants to be inside you. It wants you to open your mouth. It wants you to breathe in. Let's go to credits. All right. Poor Matt's like, oh my God, I'm already at a 4.
I have played Cthulhu Dark at 2 cons, and my character did not make it out of either game. The second one was even quicker.
What I have found with Cthulhu Dark is when it ramps fast, which is what we're seeing happen to Owen. And when you get to 5, is when this game goes off the rails in the best sort of way.
Oh, yeah.
because you start trying to destroy what your mind has been opened up to, and we find out what Owen is truly capable of. It's pretty crazy. So obviously we got at least one more session left in us. We're going to be talking about that after the stream, getting that scheduled. This is often a one shot. I think if you railroad it, you can pull this scenario off as a one shot in 3 to 4 hours. I like taking my time. This is, I think, the 4th time I've run this scenario. And I love the pace that we're at. I hope that you guys are okay with it. But we're about halfway. So I think that we will likely be able to finish it up with just one more session. Standard thing, thoughts, stars, and wishes. I think I'll start with you, Allie. Thoughts is where we discuss what did we think of the system as far as mechanics? What did we think about the scenario of where we are? And then stars are, in today's session, when did the game shine? When did you feel most inside of Tate, most in the game, in this world of 1850 London? What clicked for you? And then wishes is what you're hoping for as a player, not as a character. What are you hoping to get more of, or something you haven't gotten that you're hoping to get?
Oh, okay. Well, so this is my first time playing Cthulhu Dark. I've realized I kept thinking I had played it before, but it was a different game. I do like how simple this system is. Like this, and quite often I feel like I'm saying that when I'm on your streams, Craig, is that we're playing games where I'm like, yeah, I feel like you could just pick this up and play it. So I appreciate that. But this is very, very easy to just pull together. I feel like you don't even necessarily need to do much prep to get a game set up with this, which I appreciate that.
Name and occupation is all that you need. What I have found is you can't run every scenario in Cthulhu Dark that's out there. And one of the biggest things, which we're going to talk about when we start the next episode, is in Cthulhu Dark, if you try to fight the supernatural, if you in any way do it, there's no rolls or anything, you just die. And that's just built into it. So if you try to attack anything supernatural, there is that you will fail. And you will not come out of it alive, which is obviously something important for Tate and Eleanor to know as they're staring at this masked 7-foot tall man that's stepped out of the room. But that being said, it also creates a very interesting dynamic for players, knowing that this isn't pulp, right? This isn't even Call of Cthulhu. And the other thing that is very interesting that I didn't realize until I've ran Cthulhu Dark a few times now is I love the insight system. And the reason I love it is it gets harder to go up as you're playing. So unlike Call of Cthulhu, where you have this, and you know this, DK, because we had it happen in Isle of the Damned, you go into a death spiral, right? Your sanity keeps getting lower. It gets harder to roll under your sanity. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfect for the system. But this has just the opposite, where as your mind expands, you become harder to shock, right? Harder to because you are now seeing a different thing. You're now understanding how things work. And it makes it very interesting. That being said, I guarantee when you're sitting at a 5 that you're going to roll a 6. So don't feel too safe while you're sitting there at 5. But stars, what worked for you?
The initial finding Lily in the attic, I think for me is where I felt like I came together as Tate, as the character of like that's where it kind of locked in for me. I really enjoyed that descriptive and the dialogue and that initial shock of oh, a baby was ripped out of her. This is really, really serious.
And wishes.
I'm very curious where this is going to end up. My initial thought was, are we doing lizard people? Is this like the lizard people that live among us?
The lizard elite.
The lizard elite. They're in this place where the royals live, so that makes sense. I'm curious to see where that ends up going. I'm having a lot of fun already.
Good. Matt, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Thoughts. I've played Cthulhu Dark. I have read a decent amount. I have a PDF of the rule book. I have the little mini rules. I'm writing a scenario that I want to set as a Cthulhu
Nice.
Dark thing. I have not read this adventure. I've just like I've never like okay, not done this, so I'm not spoiling anything. And I've seen it played multiple times, and Graham is an absolute bastard. And
Oh,
I love him for it.
Yep.
If I ever meet Graham Walmsley, there's going to be some polite words.
yeah.
Kudos to you.
He
Sir.
rides hard as a GM. Like
Wow.
I am the nicest person in the world compared to him when it's
Oh.
running games, but in the best way.
Oh yeah,
And
he's so kind and genteel about it,
he is.
and drags you to this awful
Oh,
and encourages
like-
it, fully encourages it. But yeah, as a simple system, yeah, I mean, it reminds me a little bit of, and this is because I'd seen it recently, the old On the Edge, Over the Edge role playing that Atlas Games had, where
Yep.
characters were more defined by it's here's your dice based around a job, as opposed to like here's a list of skills or here's your feats or anything like. It's like, what is the character? What are they capable of doing? And then can that
game
be?
doesn't get the credit it deserves for its innovation. When that game came out, there was nothing like it. And now you look at like, I don't think without that game, there is no cipher system. I think that, directly or indirectly, Graham was influenced by it as far as how he's defining characters.
Yeah.
The game has shown its age, but at the time, I think it's as influential as like Ghostbusters was. Just kind of changed how people realized you could make games. So good shout out.
So yeah, my thoughts on the system that I do enjoy it. It is really interesting, and it is interesting now having run Liminal Horror with you, and in comparison, like the thought that like the scenario I'm writing, I'm like which direction do I want it to go, and I'm like, do I want people to fight something? In which case, I'll probably go with Liminal Horror. Do I not want them to do that? It's Cthulhu Dark. So it's what direction do I want the story to go with that? But I mean, it's the fantastic utility of it, and Graham's thoughts and writings on horror games and TTRPGs in general. I mean, he's got so many wonderful insights on things and how to use this and create those levels. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So thoughts, stars. I mean, Allie, when she was sort of fast talking, but not fast talking. What a great bit. I mean, you took those little tidbits of what we knew and allowed it to come out, and I could see the character doing that. That was, to me, that was a beautiful piece of role playing. And so, I mean, that's the big one there. And Eel's absolute viciousness and willing to just charge right in. I'm just like, okay, go to town, Hoss. Let's do this.
I love the nickname Eel, which was
That's
not
a
talked
great
about
name.
before.
Yeah,
it just happened, and it was perfect.
And then I suppose wishes. Oh man, what do you wish for with Cthulhu Dark?
Yeah,
I wish my character doesn't go completely insane in the first hour.
that is a fair wish.
Otherwise, I'll just be sitting back watching the two of you role play the hell out of this.
Last but not least, DK, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Yes. So this is my first time playing this system. As everybody who's met me, seen me knows, I love a simple system because I role play these games. And this is sure I love that. Coming off of playing Call of Cthulhu, where it looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is, but
Yes.
Having just investigate, insight, there you go. And other, sure.
And everything.
I love that. I also love the failure. That failure mechanic. No, I want to see what happens if there's a failure. That is delightful. So I'm looking forward to seeing that more. Stars as these little tiny just sprinkles of horror that we're getting here. Like,
Interesting.
Life is horror when you're impoverished. Doesn't matter what century you're in. So I think somebody called that out in the stream. Oh, this is horrifying, but it's just life.
Yeah.
But then when things are just a little bit too off, I love that. So yeah, like Allie mentioned with like the blood and seeing Lily in the room, or cradling something, tall people, long faces, no mouth on this mask. Like, it's those little bits are what I'm loving, because that slow burn, as frustrating as it is, this whole session was slow burn, slow burn, slow burn. Oh my God, what is happening now? So that is my star here.
When you answered the casting call, I was just like, oh my God, this is DK's game. They're going to love this game. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned a little bit of what you groove on, and this scenario is just dripping with it.
Yeah. I've done nothing but watch Peaky Blinders and Penny Dreadful for like 2 weeks, so I'm
Beautiful.
in it.
Yeah, the class horror in this is what made me really fall in love with this scenario. Because yes, there's some fucked up shit happening here, but just the situation and the, like you said, the poverty and the class horror of this, I think, is what is the juice for this scenario for me.
Yeah. And playing somebody who's a little oblivious to it is, I think, moving forward, we're going to add a little bit more interest, because yeah, you should really know your place, but then again, do you give a fuck?
Right.
Which I think the violent tendencies that just kind of came out. I wasn't walking into this planning that, but it feels right.
Sometimes Eleanor's going to tell you exactly who she is.
So yeah, no warfare, but class warfare. On board, 100%. I think Craig and I both groove on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wishes. I want it to get weird. I want it to get horrible and gross and just disturbing. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is the easy stuff is over. This scenario goes real hard real fast. I mean, this moment, I've run this moment where you encounter one of these people for the first time, and this feeling of being submerged and helpless. I'm really interested to see, because it's been everyone's been different, right? And I'm really interested to see what the two of you do, and soon Owen as well, because when we start the next session, Owen, you also are going to have in the office that same sensation.
Fun.
It's happening to all three of you, so it'll be super interesting. Subscribe, all the likes, all that stuff. And if you want to find out when session 2 is going to be, just follow me on Blue Sky, Third Floor Wars. Take care, all. Oh, you guys are awesome. Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.